you give us an abbreviated version of if you were doing an elevator pitch about who you are, where you came from? What would you say to people?
I would say about age 5, I was getting kicked out of kindergarten, giving my mother all kind of hell. By the age 13, I was kicked out of all Detroit public schools. By the age 15, my mother made me a ward of the state because not because she believed in the system, she believed in me, and she saw that as a means to try to slow me down, where I wouldn't end up getting killed. So it's like so many of our peers doing the '80s, the late '80s, or getting a life sentence. By the age 19, I would be in prison for a crime I did not commit. There, I would meet my father. Um, through my mother's prayers that had guided me, that had protected me. And out of that relationship that him and I had developed had a tremendous impact on me, redeeming and transforming my life.
Can you say his name, brother? Would that be inappropriate?
Oh,
I want to
no,
speak
no.
his name into existence if
Thank you.
possible.
Thank you. Not only his name, my mother,
And your
Ava
mother, that's
Jones,
right.
and my father is Ajumu Barudi. As you know, I lost my mother in 2022. My father's still here. He's still incarcerated. By the age 20, 25, I'm on my knee deep in my journey of transforming myself. I'll just show you this, just like books that became the centerpiece of me and my father's relationship. And we had the opportunity to be in the same prison, and then part of that I had to transition to going to another prison and walk out of my father's shadows and become my own man. When I say become my own man, of walking of what I believe that will become the new man of who I wanted to become. I could not be dependent on my father either, even though we became interconnected. We stayed in touch, continued to write through letters. So the goal for me was to do things for other young Black men and just folks in prison in general, if I could, what my father had done for me. And our ancestors and God being the blessed planner, we will also be back on the same prison yard about 5 years later. And at this stage, I am standing in front of him as a full developed man now, who has a different conscience, who have a different worldview, who have been through the fire, so to speak. And that was just me getting his blessings before I left. And he told me before I left, which was, they can keep the lion caged, but the cub must go free. When the cub goes free, part of the lion goes with him. So I ended up serving a total of 9 years. This coming January 3rd, 2026, I'll be home out of prison 25 years. In those 25 years, I've started from community college, worked my way all the way up to earning my PhD. I've done community organizing, community engagement, activism in my neighborhood across Detroit, Michigan, across the country. I've written a book. Currently have a documentary out. So my hands have been kind of all over the place, along with developing and building 2 institutions. One was the Urban Network Cyber Cafe that was had to close, and now we have the Mama Cool Community House. And all these things have taken place in right in my neighborhood. I've been a part of a couple of different organizations. Some I don't want to name, just didn't work out well. But it doesn't deter me. I'm the greatest organization I believe you can be a part of is the Black Struggle. I think within that you have to find individual formations. I was just talking to a brother yesterday, and we were just vibing on. Sometimes I think in this age that we have to be part of multiple organizations. We just can't be part of one organization. And that purpose is to help create the balance, to create eliminating the dissension, the territorialness that comes out of being part of the organization, and it also helps fuel the necessity of building this movement. But it's easy said than done. There's a lot of protocols, a lot of struggle that has to do with structuring how we exist in multiple organizations. So that is who I am in a nutshell. Thank you for that question, brother.